Morning, Tuesday morning, and I've got a 140 to go and see for an adblue fault, and my arrival time is 11 o'clock and my ferry is at 11:05. So I've got a bit of a road trip on my hands today, and hopefully the adblue fault will be straightforward and I don't miss the last ferry back and end up stuck on an island. So yeah, something a bit different for today, a bit of a road trip. I was working yesterday, which was Monday, and I did go to the northeast and service a load and shovel, but my phone battery died halfway through the service, and when I went to edit Monday's video, it was something or nothing to see really. So I've just kind of put it to one side and maybe put it in during Christmas when I'm off or something like that, we'll see. But yeah, welcome back, and yeah, thanks for all the comments over the weekend as well regarding sort of what you do for a living and where you're watching. It was interesting to see, like it was. Right, I'm gonna try and not miss a ferry, and I'll see you when I get up there. Well, I made it. 10 minutes to spare, and I'm heading over there, way in the distance, to that spot there, which will take about, oh, what's happened to my screen? There. So that'll take about 30-35 minutes on that boat, and then I don't think it'll be far after that. Yeah. We're off. There's two ways to get to where I'm going today. You can take this ferry, which is a half-hour crossing, or like I say, from Glasgow you can drive all the way up and round through those mountains, and somewhere along there there's a smaller ferry which is only a 5-minute crossing, but obviously travel time sort of kills the job, because you'd be 4 hours either side of the job. So you know, it's a long day. So I've got half an hour on here, and I've got directions for when I get there, so it doesn't sound too far away. 7 or 8 miles he said, so it's nice, something different for the day. Busman's holiday. Listen to them exhausts humming away. Wonder if they've got AdBlue and DPF filters. Someone's car alarm's going off. Right, we made it, and you know the road in's going to be rough when the fella in the pickup says it's rough. I'll show you on the way out, but yeah, the machine's somewhere over behind this hill here, so we're geared up to walk towards it. I've been having my laptop, it's been on charge the whole way up. There's a 140-3 over there. I can't zoom in because my hands are tied up, but it's a -5 we're after today. NOx intake sensor failure is what it's saying. Right, I'm at the machine, and I've got connected with my laptop. We have got a NOx 1 failure, which is the NOx inlet sensor, I believe. So I've already been up and had a look. Can't see any wires pulled, so we'll put the sensor with us. We'll fire it in, try and clear the cords and get this machine back to life, hopefully, because it is in full D rate, so it'll just idle and no more a look. Got highest severity. So the intake knock sensor is just there before that clamp, and what that's doing is it's sensing the emissions of the engine before it gets treated. So that's checking the dirty air, and then you've got another knock sensor the other side of that tailpipe, and that's checking the emissions after the exhaust has been cleaned with adblue, and if you've got one or other adrift, you'll end up dosing excessive adblue to try and bring the emissions down. But this one's noticed that the sensor has failed. Not often we get these ones fail, so not entirely sure what's caused it, but we'll pull it off and replace it with a fresh one. So there's the difference between the old one and the new one. The old one's got a bit of soot on it, which you would expect. The new one doesn't. I'm sure you could pin the plug, but for what it's worth, we'll fire the new one on, get rid of the error code, and that'll be the machine right again. Yeah, generally when you get a knock sensor failure, the knock sensor has failed. That's what I've found anyway, so there's nothing you can really do with them. They're a sealed unit. Unless you've got like a knock sensor current above or below normal or not responding, then you would sort of check the wiring back to the ECU. But yeah, we'll get this new one fired in, we'll get the machine warmed up and try and get this code to clear. Right, that's the new one on. So we'll go into the cab now and do the laptopy stuff. Right, we've kind of got rid of the faults. We're just doing a after treatment test now, make sure everything's right. It'll run the machine up, do like a cycle of its dosing session, and anything that's not right it should come back on the report. So we'll see what happens, but everything's looking good at the moment. Jobs are good. And right, last job I'm going to do is just check that the engine ECU software is up to date, and then walk back to the van and find a Ferry. So finally I've updated to the latest engine software. As you can see, June 21. The previous version was March 16, I think, so that's everything up to date now. And yeah, the machine is fit to go back to work. No error codes. I was panicking because when I updated the software and turned the machine back on, there was 2 inducement error codes, but there was no failure code that would bring the inducement code on. But after a minute 2 is running there, it has cleared itself. So yeah, job's a good one. Right, he's back to work, and I've just walked back to the van. Now, when I was sort of running that machine up, I noticed there was a bit of a strange noise. It might be something to nothing, but it might be a fan hub bearing, which I've got on the van, so it makes sense while I'm here just to wander back over and check it out. But I can't remember how I got across this river. It's really, really soft around here. See if I lose a boot in here, look. Ooh. Yep, that's soft, that's wet, that's cold. Grand. Good job I've got fresh socks in the van. Yeah, so I'm going to grab a half inch bar and some other bits and pieces and the bearing. I'll just wander back across, because as nice as it is round here, I don't want to have to come back, because I bet you if I did come back we wouldn't have this weather. I've slackened this belt off, as you can see, and there isn't any play in this bearing at all. And I've checked the other bearings, all these idlers and things like that, they're alright as well. So that's peace of mind anyway. It's just that sounded similar to what I've heard in the past, where the fan drive housing bearing's gone. But no, everything's okay, so at least I've got peace of mind that that fan isn't going to fall off and go through an oil cooler and make a mess, so put it back together, or put the belt back on, get down to the van and go and catch a ferry home. Just make sure everything's lined up in there, because the last thing I want is to do something completely innocent and check out the bearing and then have the bloody fan belt jump off. And yeah, that looks alright. Cool. Oh well, I'm gonna head back to the van now. Right, everything's okay, customer's happy, I'm happy. It's been nice to get a bit of exercise walking across this fell side. Seeing there over there, bottomless, apparently. Don't want to lose a boot in there, so I'm walking along this bank side here, which is easier said than done. I'm sure every time I walk across here I've gone a different route. Bad to judge. Oh, I packed the fan drive and half a dozen tools, and it's starting to feel heavy all of a sudden. Never mind, it would have been the case if I just went over with my 1/2-inch ratchet and allowed Bobbin to lock out the belt tensioner. Guarantee you the fan bearing would have been away. But if so, anyway, we'll head back down to the ferry. I'll show you this forestry road on the way out. When I pulled up here, the fella says he's in a 4x4, and he says it's a bit rough, and then he kind of took a step back and looked at my van, cocked his head to one side and went, you should be alright. Telling you now, there are more than a dozen opportunities to smash the sump, I can guarantee you that. Well, I've fair enjoyed today. It's been somewhat different, hasn't it? Yesterday's video, when I was servicing that shovel, I wasn't in the best of fettle. If you're not from Cumbria and you don't know what fettle means, fettle is best of moods. I was just a bit, didn't have much go about me, and I had a good night's sleep the night before and whatnot, but just yeah, we'll probably can that episode and it'll maybe surface one day. But no, I appreciate all the comments from Friday's video. 5,000 subscribers. You'd never have thought. Not even a year yet. So I'm pleased with progress. Yeah. Right. Warbled on enough. You'll be switching off now. So I'll switch off. Now I apologise for my mucky windows, but yeah, the amount of comments that I get saying, "Oh, you need a 4x4 Sprinter." Yeah, I probably do in some cases. Oh, that is rough. That is rough. Yeah, I probably do in some cases, but for the most part, I've never ever had a 4-wheel drive van, and I've had close calls. In fact, I did hit the sump of the last van that I had, which then sprung an oil leak. But that's not bad odds in 13 odd years, is it? Well, I suppose I haven't been on the road 13 years, maybe. But yeah, this is one of those tracks where a 4-wheel drive, or even just if the van's sat 4 or 5 inches higher, you'd probably be a bit more comfortable. This bit isn't too bad. There's a bit when we get into the woods where it is bad like. I'll cut to that bit now. Do you know, it doesn't look too bad on the camera, does it? But maybe you can see by the amount it's shaking about, it is bad like. There's a bit round this corner where it's, oh no, I'm not going that way. The last thing I need today is a hole in my sump on an island. What's this? Someone's phones. Another phone call. Right, aye, this is a bad bit here, look. Doesn't even look it on the screen. It's terrible. Oh dear. See, it's bits like that. Can you see that rock there? That's what you've got to watch out for. That's what you've got to watch. Just quietly over it. If you take your time, you're alright. There we go. Not even a scrape. If you look through there, there's the other boat, and that runs backwards and forwards across this stretch of water here all day long apparently. So that's just like a 2-minute crossing, like I said before, and then you'll pick up a road that'll take you around the mainland. But that's like that would be a nice journey. That would be nice. But I'm gonna go the sensible way back. Not the sensible way, but yeah, it's a sensible way. The more cost-effective way back, because obviously somebody's paying for my time. But yeah, look at the views forevermore. What other job? Well, I suppose there's plenty of other jobs that would get you to places like this, but what I'm meaning is you might have a 5-mile commute to an office block through the town and 5 mile back through the town to get home. And I get paid to come out to spots like this. Do enjoy the job. Best part of the job is coming to spots like this. Somewhere where you'd probably not choose to go on holiday because you know nothing about the place, but it's lovely around here. Right, enough warbling on. I've talked far too much about scenery and journeys, and I mean, imagine a lot of folk tune in for the diggers and whatnot, but is what it is. So yeah, right, I'll head back to the ferry now. Well, that was lucky. When I came round, I could see the boat and I didn't know what time it was set to leave. I think I must be the last one on. I don't know. I didn't check the times heading back across. I just checked the times heading over here because I didn't know what time I'd be heading back. So at least I've not got any time waiting to go back. Happy days. Made it. Because I would have, if this boat had set off just as I was coming around, I would have had I'll have had an hour's wait before I was on the next one. So job's a good one. Right. So back in the van, the front of the boat's just lifted up, and that must mean that we're back at the mainland. Time is 3:30, so it'll be about 5:45, 6 o'clock when I get home. Not a bad day, been interesting. I've enjoyed myself. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll edit this one tonight and put it on tonight, since there wasn't a Monday video, and it'll be a lot more interesting than what I did get filmed on Monday, I reckon. So yeah, happy days. Right, tomorrow I'll be local jobs only. I've done about 500 mile by the time I get home tonight, including yesterday, be about 500 odd blooming mile I've done. So local jobs tomorrow, 3 machines to go and see, so hopefully that'll be interesting too. Right, thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up as well, and that'll reach out to a wider audience. I feel like this should be a good video, so yeah, we'll see though. Quite often when I edit a video that I think is going to be good, I think I should have really filmed a bit more of this or a bit more of that, so we'll see how it turns out. Right, see you on the next one. Tell you what, I'd sooner have 3 diggers in the middle of nowhere than 3 diggers in a 15-mile radius of Glasgow. Goodness me. Well, let's put me back half an hour, whatever's happened in front.